share the link. All those who could not register, probably we can share that link with them.
Yeah, we can do it later on, ma'am. They can watch the recorded view.
All right. Perfect.
Namaskar and good evening, everyone. This is Ishan Waldia, and I welcome you all to Reinventing School webinar series. This is the first webinar of 13th week, and here we will ideate, debate, and discuss on the topic safeguarding mental well-being of the teachers. Today, I'm very much excited to introduce our panelists. And I also want to share that I have joined this conversation with my energy drink, and that's my all-time favorite, Masala Chai. So let's ask our panelists about their favorite hot beverage. Are they a coffee person or a chai lover? Let's start with Rashmi Lohan, ma'am, principal at DAV Police Public School, Gurugram. Ma'am has been in profession for last 22 years and has enjoyed every moment of it. Ma'am has worked in 10 different army institutions as TGT and PGT all across the country. And working with children keeps her grounded and cheerful. So ma'am, please tell us, what do you drink to bring back your energy?
In fact, Ishan, let us be very well versed with the atmosphere and scenario around. So these days, my favorite drink is kadha, you know, the concoction of various condiments together and sip it, you know, relishing the complete drink. That's what I don't like tea or coffee at all. So that's my drink these days.
Right, that keeps your immunity high as well. Great. So our next panelist is Alka Singh ma'am, principal at Bluebells Model School, Gurugram. She has a vast experience of 29 years in the field of education and has served in few of most prestigious educational institutions of the country. So welcome, ma'am. So ma'am, please tell us, is it a tea or a coffee?
Thank you so much, Ishan, and good evening, everyone. My favorite drink or the energy drink is tea. And as Rashmi was talking about, with the present scenario, the tea gets converted to kadha with ginger and all the condiments out there. So that's there, a cup of tea.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that's great, ma'am. Our next panelist is Meenakshi Zorabi, ma'am, principal at Ashram Scottish School, Noida. She has received numerous awards in her career spanning over 26 years. Thrice, she has been awarded as for being most inspiring educators, awarded with active principal by Akhil Bharati Nagrik Vikas Kendra. So welcome, ma'am. So is it a green tea or a cappuccino? Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself. Nakshi, ma'am.
It's a good evening, everyone. It's a dash of cinnamon and loads of coffee.
Oh, wow. That sounds delicious, ma'am.
Yeah, try it. It's wonderful.
Definitely. Our next panelist is Nindya Saket, ma'am, principal at Manav Rachna International School, Noida. She has rich experience of 19 years in the field of academics in India and abroad. She believes that she is a lifelong learner who learns best when amongst the young and challenging generation. So ma'am, please tell us, what is the secret drink in your cup today?
Well, first of all, good evening to everyone. My half cup is green tea, filled with a lot of motivation, lot of enthusiasm, and lot of empathy for my teachers. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Our next panelist is Ritu Rajneesh, ma'am, principal at Delhi World Public School, Chhattisgarh, a seasoned professional with rich and extensive experience of over 30 years, with commendable success in school and general administration. So welcome, ma'am. So ma'am, what is there in your cup? Is it tea or a coffee?
Thank you, Ishan. For me, it's tea. Always, always. And I strongly believe that it is really energizing, and a cup of tea actually instantly rejuvenates me, and I'm all set to rock again as a principal, or maybe in any format I am in, maybe a mother, maybe a grandmother. So a cup of tea can give all the energy to me anytime. So
Great.
That's my beloved one. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Our next panelist is Sangeeta Dhamija, ma'am, principal at Millennium World School, Faridabad. Ma'am has devoted almost 26 years to the field of education. During this time, ma'am has worked gained rich experience in institutions like New Greenfield School, Saket, Heritage School, Vasant Kunj, and Millennium School, Noida. Sangeeta ma'am has received award of Best Facilitator from both Heritage School and Millennium School. So welcome, ma'am. So please tell us what is the secret ingredient in your cup?
Thank you, Ishan, for a lovely introduction and good evening to everybody. I try to take the best from everywhere. So morning, I'm a coffee person. Evening, it's masala chai. So I go with Ishan with all the adrak, tulsi and elaichi. And evenings, I generally prefer green tea.
Great. So
Thank
moving
you so
on to our
much.
next panelist. Thank you, ma'am. So moving on to our next panelist is Gurvinder Sohi, ma'am, the founder principal of the Sri Ram Universal School, Panchkula. Years of work experience span various interests, including teaching English, working as a principal of senior secondary CBSE schools, worked as a principal of GD Goenka Public School, Paschim Vihar, New Delhi, the principal of Arden Public School, Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan. So welcome, ma'am. So what is there in your mug today?
Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to share this virtual space with all of you. And thank you, Rocksport. I come to you with my cup of green tea, which comes straight from the lush tea gardens and salubrious climb of the Nilgiris down south. I believe green tea refreshes the mind and detoxes the body. It's also seen as a stress buster of sorts. So I think all in all, a good option in the present circumstances that we speak of.
Great. Thank you all the panelists. Now, before we move further, I would also want to know what is our audience favorite hot beverage. For this, we will have a quick poll on your screen. I request all the audience and panelists to answer in 30 seconds. So, Alka ma'am, where do you prefer your tea? Is it at school or at your home?
I think as a passionate educator, the tea works well when we get a break in the school, and that energizes us most. So I look at it that way.
Oh, great. Now let's see what our audience have to say. Can we have the results on our screen? Wow, that's great. So mostly of the people love to have the tea between 5 to 5:30. That means we are on the right time. And I guess today's the winner is classic tea.
Yes.
Great. So I guess tea has a strong bond. Teachers and tea share a very special bond. So thank you all. I request all the audience to keep writing your question in the Q&A box, as we are going to have a Q&A session towards the end of the webinar. Also, we will allow audience to directly ask the question from the favorite panelists. So the topic of today's webinar is safeguarding mental well-being of the teachers. And I request all the panelists to share their thoughts and opinion in 5 minutes. We also have a buzzer to remind the panelists that 4 minutes are over. Hope that will be helpful. Now I request Rashmi ma'am to kickstart the conversation. Over to you, Rashmi ma'am. Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself. Rashmi ma'am.
Very good afternoon to you all, lovely audience and wonderful panelists. Yes, a very, very relevant topic we are heading to ideate, to amalgamate, and to discuss the well-being of teachers, safeguarding the mental well-being of teachers. And teachers, in fact, yes, teachers, I'm saying teachers again, why? Because it is such a section of society are supposed to be very robust and happy and cheerful all the time, and solving all the problems around, and always, you know, keeping up to the position and keeping up to the situation. But yes, this time, the very difficult time of COVID has affected all of us. And yes, teachers not too are left behind. Everybody, we all are here on the same platform. We have our own share of anxiety, depression, grief, maybe some sort of uncertainty, or maybe some of us may have, you know, insomnia, not able to sleep, restlessness, and whatnot. So I think all the panelists, those who are sitting here in front of me today, we all are from different places, and I'm sure, as Ritu ma'am said right now, that we have our all share of anxieties and all share of difficulties and problems. So, and you know, the principals, the leaders, you know, we have got a wide arena of dealing with different kind of people. we deal with small children, we deal with teachers, their families, our own families, then parents, and a whole lot of people. And come across every day with lots and lots of thinking around. And I'm sure in the present time, we all know that schools are facing lots and lots of difficulties. Parents are under lots and lots of stress. And because all that thing, somehow, somewhere, all that stress is being transferred to teachers, there have been lots and lots of debate all around that, parents sitting with the student, maybe with the child, and monitoring how the teacher is behaving, how the teacher is teaching, how is he pronouncing, and a lot thing. And there is lots of negativity all around. See, no doubt that we do pass lots and lots of positivity to them. We keep up, we hold their hands and we do everything. Yet I feel a lot is required to be done, because, teachers are such an important sections of society. So there have been time around, many examples from mythology, like whenever there is a havoc in the society, it's actually the guru, the teacher, those who have, holded the hands and come up with wonderful solutions. So I think we are standing at the same juncture where we need to hold their hands. We need to give them a pat at the back and tell them that, yes, the world belongs to you. The future of the country, the children are there in front of you. You deal with them, but first take care of yourself, your well-being, your mental being, right? And I think who else can do in a better manner than the principals and maybe the head of the institutions. So and I'm very, very sure today, the whatever little bit of sharing of thoughts we had just now, that we're definitely going to come up with something wonderful, something good, with all the audience to take away, with we also to take away, like we can, just have those things with us, that yes, somebody told us such a wonderful thing today. So let us be hopeful that this seminar is going to give us lots and lots of positivity and lots and lots of takeaways, and the different arena, the different experience. Like maybe I was really wondering when Ishan was, telling us the wide experience all the panelists have had today. And Ritu ma'am, I mean, she's so stuffed with lots and lots of thoughts. So that was great, wonderful. And before we start, I would request all the panelists that let us concentrate of one main point at least, that yes, this is the one thing which we are supposed to do. So at the end, we are 7 of us. So 7 things all together are going to make a big difference, right? So I think it's the time to start. And I now hand over to Alka ma'am, Principal Bluebell School, Gurugram, Sector 4. Over to you, ma'am. And let us take and ideate with your point of view, and let us see what you have to give to audience today. So over to Alka ma'am.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. So I'll just start like saying, what is the goal of education? Like, let's start, whenever we say, we start from the beginning. So when we're looking at the goal of the education, we say that creating different shared value as personalized education. And each student has, as we know, different learning styles, different needs, different interests and passion. And more we offer our learners in regards to personalization, the better is the outcome. Now we come from, where does this shared outcome come from? Now it has to be an interface between two. So in education, the interface is between the teacher and the student. Now we come to the role of we all as educational leaders. I would say, like, keep it in bold, saying, put teachers first. Generally, when we are looking at it, when we say education, we say child-centric, and 200% agree to it. But when we are talking about child-centric, for us as educational leaders, it is again, I would say, in bold, put teachers first. That's how it has to be. And whenever we are talking about putting the teachers first, so I would say, like, we should encourage the teachers, enthuse them, and that experience of theirs, that is what they're going to transfer to the classrooms. Let it be virtual or physical classrooms. there's a different struggle what we're facing right now. I understand virtual, but I would say the mental health of the teachers always is prime, even if it is virtual or even in the physical classroom. So now we talk about the teachers. What are the two main things which are going to give them that kind of job satisfaction, which leads to a positive mental health? So there's this study which says that the way the principals manage their schools and the relationship with the faculty. There was a study done in 2003. So that is the time they said that's most important factor which actually impacts the mental health of the teachers. And interestingly, there's another study which talks about the relationship between the teacher and student affecting the student's success. So it says, so now if you look at it, it's basically the teacher who's going to impact the student. And our role basically out here is to take care of this when we are talking about the mental health. The different perceptions are related to mental health. As educators, I would say mental health when we are talking about the teachers, and once again, I'm not referring only to the COVID times. I'm talking about COVID as well as otherwise as teachers. So like their emotional, their psychological, as well as the social well-being of the teacher when we're talking about. Like how the teacher thinks, how the teacher acts. So all of us, I'm sure we are going to agree that that's what is prime to us as an educational institution, as an educational leader, that what are they transferring to our students? So now comes what are we, these are the questions when you're talking about who. So we know that it's basically us who play an important role in actually what is going to happen in the classroom. Like, because it's via media is our teachers. And otherwise, when I say via media, I would say that's the epicenter of every educational institution. If you say, oh, this is the best school. So best school would mean the best faculty. And when we say best faculty, so today I think all of us, we have seen the result and we are so happy about, you know, the amazing result. But actually, if you look at it, is it not positive mindset, well-being of the teachers, which brought about, that is like a byproduct of the positive mental health of the teacher. So now, what as educational leaders, what can we look at, I would say, especially during these times? First of all, let's prioritize, because in physical school, there are n number of things what we have to think about. But now when we're talking about virtual, let's prioritize, because teacher, we know, you know, she's not just handling the virtual classroom, she's preparing the assignments, as well as there is one area which is her home front, what she's taking care of. And it's very important that she's positive in terms of the school as well as at home, a happy person. And every happy person is going to actually, when we are talking about teaching, it will be like joy of teaching, joy of learning. It's possible only when we take care of the kind of work what we are transferring to them. So when we prioritize, that is the time automatically, you know, you'll get to know that we are reducing the load also. There are few things what can be put away or what can be handled by someone else. And the teachers can focus on what we want them to. So I would say that if we start off with that, and second is, I think all of us, we know whenever we are talking about the PISA result and we say that, you know, it's not India which is not doing well and which is the country which is doing well. If you do the study, what makes a certain country, you know, score the top ranks in PISA? So there was again one study which was conducted, and believe me, what came out is, it is not the pay scale. It has got nothing to do with the physical environment or infrastructure. It was the autonomy which was given to the teachers to do what they are best in doing. So, you know, give them that space that this is what has to be done. How they need to do it is something we can always give that kind of space to the teachers, which is very important. And teaching or teacher's job, when we're talking about, is much, much more difficult than what otherwise people perceive. Like, it's not that formal profession, but I think this is the mother of all professions, I would say that. From teaching to taking care of the mental health of the child, taking care of, you know, the co-curricular activities of the child, the individual learning styles of the child. you know, when we are talking about Walt Disney, if you remember that story, what he says, I was not a good student, but my teacher identified that I was good with graphics. So she ensured that, you know, I take care of that one part and finally see who he is. So that's because the teacher has to focus upon. So if we give that kind of happiness and peace to the teacher, she can do what we're expecting her to do. From where I started, when I said, you know, like creating different shared value as personalized experiences. That is individual attention or identifying different learning styles of each child. So now if we actually start jotting it down, see what the teacher is doing. It's not just coming and teaching and moving off. Even as virtual, even when I'm looking at Rashmi ma'am and Sanita ma'am. So is it not that we are looking into our eyes and we are identifying, are they happy? Is it inquisitive? Is it making sense? So that's exactly the same the teacher has to do. So unless like she comes with a cluttered mind and not a happy state. So I also have one point over here. So when we also, on a virtual space, we are talking to the teachers. Let's make small groups of teachers and exactly the way we are. Talk to them, nothing about what they have to do in the class. It's got like nothing what are our expectations or their duties. Just a casual conversation apart from the other formal meetings what we take. And during this, catch on the keywords when they're speaking. Is it something which is bothering them? If it is, we can put the phone down, like this meeting off, and once again interact with the teacher. Make sure the cycle is complete in our conversation.
Yes, yes, very true, Alka ma'am, very true. And I'm sorry to barge in, because when we were talking about clutter, you know, decluttering the mind, I mean, such a wonderful word you have used. What I could catch from your, I should say, your conversation, what you were, you know, centered at is, a very good point was autonomy to teacher. Yes, give all the reins to teacher. Okay, hold it into your hand and do the way you want. And second is, yes, of course, a cluttered mind can never deliver things in a good way. So no doubt. And once while you were talking, ma'am, I also would like to, we were talking about some survey, right? That there was some survey, I mean, and then PISA ratings we were talking about. Even while going through the mental well-being of teachers, I also have just gone through a survey which was recently conducted by the Canadian Teachers Federation, and the results were really shocking. See, the teachers are stressed, but see the factors of what is actually giving them stress. And it's going to be really, you know, we all are going to be really happy once we'll get to know. They said that some 74% of the teachers are concerned about the mental health and well-being of the teachers. So they are stressed. Why? That the student, how is my student, you know, is he mentally healthy? Is he doing well? Is he physically healthy? So this thing is giving them stress and it is affecting their mental well-being. Then around 44% of them are concerned about themselves, I mean, their health and their well-being. And one more, a very, again, a shocking factor. They all are concerned, 92% of them are concerned that this technology has become a barrier in quality education. They think that they are not able to impart the quality education because of the technology. So, and there's no doubt, we all would agree to this. Then some 89% of them are concerned with, you know, when is that time going to come when I'll be attached with my students? When is that time going to come? So this, I really wanted to share it with you. This is a survey conducted by some Canadian Teachers Foundation. And I was really happy to see that this is all about our teachers are stressed with. Right?
So positive, so positive.
So positive,
so positive.
Yeah. And now I would request Gurvinder Sohi ma'am to add on to this scenario further, because this is something very, very good. I mean, we all principals can feel good about our teachers that this is what is giving them stress. Right, ma'am. Over to Gurvinder Sohi ma'am.
Rashmi ma'am, thank you so much. And once again, a very good evening to all of you. This has been no easy time for anybody. However, because today this platform is about safeguarding teachers' mental well-being, so let us delve into what the teachers have been through. With the clamping of the clock down, teaching learning changed to online mode with little or no time to make this switch. Undoubtedly, it was very difficult for parents to come to terms with having their children at home, studying before a screen. But it was even more challenging for the teaching fraternity to plunge into conducting classes using daunting, unfamiliar technology. Teachers were not trained in handling the online medium of curriculum transaction. However, kudos to the grit and perseverance of this community. In no time, they overcame inhibitions and constraints. With school ICT staff, I think, largely leading from the front, a crash course on basic know-how was imparted to the teachers, just about enough for them to commence classes. And they were left to figure out the rest as they went along. Learning, remember, did not miss a beat. It was a formidable path. The teachers and learners were fraught with unfathomable technology glitches. Loopholes related to control and management needed to be plugged to give the teacher and not the student more command over the online class. Then there were erratic network and cyber safety issues. Let us remember that at the center of this whole exercise remained the core task of conducting lessons and ensuring meaningful engagement of children. This in a scenario where children were not in front of teachers in a well-managed classroom, but remained ensconced in homes with parents by their sides, at times as unwarranted participants in class proceedings. I think a tall order and not for the weak-hearted.
Yes.
The first few days were perhaps rough, owing to the fact that it was an entirely new situation for everyone. Often parents were less than understanding, expecting perfection on screen from the word go. It was a challenge to control the mannerisms of the students in the virtual classes. However, schools learned to tackle issues and laid down norms of live class etiquette. Teachers learned to improvise and innovate. Parents also became more settled. In all of this, teachers still remain under endless pressure of different sorts. Pressure to perform in every class as feedback from parents is instantaneous and expectations are uniquely varying. Teachers have to be able to show the school their worth in the changed dynamics and the ability of adapting to the new normal. Additionally, there are fears of job security and salary, especially in the backdrop of some parents' reluctance to pay fees, affecting the sustainability of schools. Teachers strive 24/7 from home, putting together creative learning material and make compromises on family. Besides, like others, let's not forget, they too are grappling with personal anxiety arising from the pandemic. You would think they need nerves of steel. It was never easy being a teacher. And now stress threatens their mental well-being. So where lies the solution? Teachers are made of sterner stuff than others. Recognition or not, they plod on. Dear teachers, this is for you. You have risen above trials and tribulations. You've navigated the unfamiliar and achieved the extraordinary. You do not need someone else to make you feel good. You are the unsung heroes of the pandemic. You've turned this challenge into opportunity for professional growth and stand tall as a new age teacher. Hence, you can take your well-being in your own hands. Look after your physical, mental, and emotional health. Take out time for yourself. Eat wisely, exercise, sleep adequately. Indulge in your whims every once in a while. Meditate, chat with family and colleagues, share your worries. Do your possible best, but do not fret over the rest. That being said, it is the moral responsibility of everyone to extend relentless support to teachers. The school head, you and me, must staunchly stand with her teachers, be encouraging, empathetic, and receptive to their needs. The school head must be a morale booster, buffer, and a sagacious counselor. She must foster improved parent-teacher connect so that swift conflict resolution results in greater understanding and amicability. Constructive feedback of parents can be incorporated and parents' confidence in teachers enhanced. The management must forward constant reassurance to teachers of having their best interests taken care of. Assistance towards providing teachers resources to run classes from home and timely disbursement of salary can go a long way in allaying unease. Sessions by experts aimed at de-stressing can be organized. Parents must be vocal in appreciation and take a humane view of the teacher's situation. Prioritizing payment of fee is key. There are a lot of parents who have been most forthcoming in all these aspects. And believe me, they are truly valued by schools. Finally, I think the media and the community must highlight the outstanding work of teachers, while the government must promote clear-cut teacher-friendly initiatives. We all need to remember, friends, good teachers are already an endangered species. Society cannot afford to have them become extinct. So let us support them while we can. And that's it from me. Thank you so much, everybody.
Ma'am, so Rashmi ma'am, with your due permission, can we have a poll? Right. Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. So
Sure.
Can we have the poll on the screen? So I would like to ask Sangeeta ma'am, what do you have to say on this? What is going to be your view? Sangeeta ma'am.
Yes, Ishan.
So,
I
ma'am, what do you
don't
think?
think,
Yeah.
in progressive schools, I don't think it is a big challenge for the teachers. Though the teachers are referring to the textbooks, but smart board and online classes, it was though a challenge because it was all of a sudden, we hadn't even finished the session. But yes, slowly and gradually, all the teachers adapted to the new norm and they're doing a wonderful job. And in my school, we are taking online classes from morning till the afternoon. And we have changed platform from Zoom to Microsoft Teams. I'm glad that parents and students have also adapted to it. So we've all understood this is a new norm and we have to live with it.
Right, ma'am. So Gurvinder ma'am, what about your views on this?
Yeah, I think my views are more or less very clear. No challenge is too big for our very resilient teachers.
Yes.
I mean, when have we had, teachers have things as a cakewalk? It's always been a tough path for teachers. So teachers are, like I said, they can take up all challenges. So whether it is textbooks, conventional kind of teaching, or smart boards, or activity-oriented teaching, or using Bala, I think our teachers have always risen to the occasion. Also, you find that, when teachers move from one school to another, they adapt very easily. So you will find the same group of teachers who do very well in a very conventional school and equally take like a duck takes to water.
True.
In a school which is very progressive. So I don't think any of this is a big deal for the teachers. And this pandemic, more than ever, I think, has put this straight in the face of society that this is the kind of stuff our teachers are made of. So
Actually.
let us start, giving them their due.
Actually.
So let's see, ma'am, what our audience have to say on it. So here are the results. That 60% of people says that it is becoming challenging for the teachers. Okay. Now over to you, Rashmi ma'am.
Speaking frankly, I really don't agree to this. The way our teachers have jumped up into the solution right the day when this lockdown has been enforced, I don't think that teaching on smartboard was ever a challenge. They themselves figured out, they started and tried Zoom, then they themselves switched over to Team. They have made their students friendly, they have made the parents friendly, and the way the smoothing and progressing is going on, I really don't think that it is a challenge in any case.
And that was
right?
so spontaneous. It was so spontaneous.
Yes.
Like we could not even imagine. It just went on and on.
Yes.
So spontaneous.
Yeah.
I would like
I
to
don't
add
think,
here-
ma'am, it was a challenge to the teachers. no doubt they must have, put in lots of efforts and time to figure out things and to make them smooth and friendly for students. But challenge, no, our teachers are really, made up of robust material. I really do appreciate words of Gurvinder ma'am. So now I hand over to Meenakshi ma'am, and let us just see what she has to say over here.
Hi, educators. It was wonderful listening to you all. Teachers first is the first thing that I really loved. Teachers first is the topic. And for this, my deepest appreciations to Team Rocksport, who has really, taken up this topic for today's discussion. Teachers had a real roller coaster time during the pandemic sessions. And it has been a pedagogical shift, complete pedagogical shift from the normal classrooms to the virtual classrooms. The teachers had to put in their best foot forward, and when on 24th of March it was announced that the schools will be closed, within 5 days, 6 days, all of us have scrambled through this, and the appreciations goes to the deepest alacrity of the principals, all heads and all teachers who just kind of harnessed technology in like nobody's business, and we all adopted to the technology like anything. And I'm going to share in those 5 minutes how we did it and what are the solutions. Where did we find the teachers teachers got stuck in terms of their mental happiness, in terms of other things. I'll just quickly take you through the journey what Aspen Scottish has taken, and I'm sure all of us have gone through the same journey. The day one, when it was announced, prior to 4 or 5 days, I conducted a meeting with my staff. I said, this is on and pandemic is on, and we all need to be thinking strategic, and now what we are going to do. They said, ma'am, we are not ready. I said, yes, we need to be ready. So another 3 days time, we need to go into Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, Teams, and explore whatever is good and whatever you find it's appropriate for you to start. So the IT team said, madam, Zoom and Team is a wonderful option. I said, okay, let's go by Zoom and Team. We started with Team, we started with Zoom, and parents had certain issues of security that point of time. So we shifted immediately to the Zoom. So the first challenge here for all the teachers was shifting from classroom to the Zoom and classroom from Zoom to Teams, and then coming into the fore. And second challenge what teachers faced was now to make the class interactive. So they were all, gasping through the slide share, making presentations, downloading videos, clubbing and integrating it with the, their lessons. So the third challenge was now this all is done. So ma'am, what next? The next was making class interactive, making class engaging, developing the skills, and that the challenge is differential in the education. So all that needed to be taken into consideration. So rightly, then our research team, they said, okay, now we are going to take on the teams, and we are going to see the tools in the teams. We are going to see the games and apps. Those are online apps and, gamification that is around, and that we can, kind of use in our online teaching. So we use those, techniques and tools, whether it was Padlet, whether it was, Kahoot, whether it was Mentimeter, Join My Quiz, all those, teachers were trained on all these aspects, and we started using it for the better results in differentiation, NCF component, inclusion of NCF component, skill-based studies, and teachers felt little relieved. Then came a time, ma'am, we are not doing assemblies, we are not amalgamating activities, we are not even doing competitions, and we are not, doing much in yoga, dance, music, performing arts, what. So we included that also, through different ways. Then came the challenge for the teachers, ma'am, there is a blended learning which is to come into fore, the difference between asynchronous learning and the synchronous learning, online tools. So we did that also. We said, okay, now we will do flipped classrooms, we'll send videos, we'll do podcast. All that was also, imagine the kind of journey the teachers have taken. And we still say they were not stressed. They were fatigued. That was somewhere where we felt the mental fatigue has set in. I started, making online observation forms. And with my counselor, we got into the classrooms and we started observing the body language of the teachers. There we felt they were a little unsure sometimes. And I immediately, consulted my research team. I said, now I need to do something about the mental well-being of my teachers. There another journey starts. Apart from the, nobody thought the teachers are also on the screen all the time. If the children had a screen issue, if the parents had the concern that children are all the time, there's a But what about the teachers? So the research team came up with few of suggestions. They said, let's do the talkabouts, let's do the feedback forward. We are doing feedback forward, so backward we are doing feedback forward. That means we are observing the classes, we are silently seeing the best part of it, we are sending appreciation mails, we are sending them feedback forward. So the teacher feels appreciated, teacher feels enthused, teacher feels, yes, I am doing it, I can do it. Then kind of we did the optional meditative, optional yoga, optional those exercises. Then we send them we send them the links on WHO, we send them the links where it was all about COVID management in their families. We did speak to some of the families where we felt the issues of ailing parents were there, issues of other family members not supporting that point of time. So much of work-life balance had to be created. So we lessened the load of certain teachers where we felt the load is coming more. All those were practical solutions we kept giving to the teachers in order to keep them mentally happy and enthused all the times. So these were simple solutions what we did. In fact, we did kind of whole school was doing, okay, we'll do a detoxification, everybody on a detoxification drive. So all of us were saying, okay, 10 glasses of water or 10 glasses of whatever every day, and after every glass of water there will be one positive quote we will speak to ourselves. So all these things we had to do just to keep our teachers happy, and we will continue doing it. And my research team at ASPEM is wonderful. They keep giving us such suggestions along with the counselor, and the parent body acted as monitors. We involved the parent body to act as monitors to find out where do you find the teachers not happy, sir, give us a suggestion. They also started pulling in their suggestions. Parents also gave us certain webinars on happiness, developing happiness quotient, and that's how we have come into the journey so far. This was our roller coaster ride. My only concern is we are doing so much and we are all equipped. Now we need to keep it going because COVID has no end till now. Till then now, we're not aware what is going to happen next. So once the classroom, we shift from the virtual classroom to the real-time classrooms, this concern for teachers should continue. That's my concern. God bless and
Thank you.
stay safe.
Thank you. Well said, Meenakshi. Very good.
Very, very well said,
Very well
Meenakshi
spoken.
ma'am. Very well
Excellent.
said.
Excellent.
Each and every word was percolating inside. No doubt the mental fatigue was there. And no doubt that detoxification was really, really required. And the way you people have done, it's, I think, a lesson to all of us that a glass of water and a positive thought, let us gulp everything together and come up with something nice. That was really
that was really
great.
good. That was really good. Yeah.
That was really good, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. I would really pick up for my school now. That's a good one.
Yes.
Meenakshi,
and
yeah.
I liked one more thing, ma'am, the appreciation mails and then the ma'am was talking about.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
That was nice.
I mean, if you are sending a feedback and an appreciation mail, maybe let us say once a week to the teacher, it's more than enough. It's more than enough, no doubt. So let us now take over the words of Nindya ma'am, and let's see, I'm very sure that the discussion is going in a very, very good note, and let us add on to something more by Nindya ma'am. That's like.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. After listening to all the esteemed educators and the intellectuals, I would like to start with a common aeroplane rule. Follow the oxygen mask analogy. Wear your oxygen mask first and then help others. So good evening, everybody. Before I begin, I would like to thank Rocksport and its entire team for providing me this opportunity and the platform to express my views. I'm a teacher from heart, and I understand the anxiety and stress of all the educators. Well, moving on to the topic, safeguarding the mental health of the teachers, as we are discussing today. My question is, what is the need for such a discussion? I would like to comment here that it is our teachers who are actual corona warriors, apart from the doctors in these tough times. And we should all acknowledge their hard work and their dedication in these crucial times. Their role is very diverse. Their role is very demanding. With every passing day, we must realize that there is a rising pressure on the teachers. Let's evaluate what pressure are we talking about. The lockdown was announced on 24th 24th of March 2020, I believe. And that means that date was close to the beginning of the new academic session. Schools had closed the previous session and they were all geared up for the new session. All the planning had been done. But that planning was for the physical schools. And what about the new YONA now? Nobody was aware of the new expectations. Teachers being teachers, they immediately took charge, immediately engaged themselves in doing something that they had never done before. And that was online teaching. Nevertheless, they took up the responsibility and were all geared to take up the new challenge and started with the online classes, adopting various platforms, which they had never heard of. Because we are not corporates, we are schools. And we had never done online classes before. So I think initially Zoom was very known platform. Some went on to Zoom, some went on to Teams. There were Google Classrooms. But actually teachers did not know about it. They all underwent trainings on usage of various platforms. And then the new challenge began. The challenge of the gadget, internet glitches, finding a suitable place to sit and teach, dressing up for the occasion, apart from managing the household chores, that too without house helps, managing their own WhatsApp online classes along with their own, making lesson plans, attending professional development meetings to upgrade themselves, and above all, ensuring the well-being of their loved ones along with their own well-being. Do we still think that teachers do not know how to teach? Or they are not worth being a teacher? Or they should teach according to the parents' availability? Seriously? Well, a teacher's turmoil just doesn't end here. Now they are right in front of the parent, directly being observed, and one mistake, all ready to pounce on them. Although India has started unlocking, but we are not in favor of reopening the school buildings as of now. With continuous online classes, the new challenges are evolving. Teachers are now overloaded with work, be it school or home. The stress level is increasing. Some are even facing financial crunches. Teachers too are going through salary cuts in some of the schools. They do not have finances, as the schools do not have finances to pay the salaries. Also now the stress of online assessments, too much of screen time, non-ending pandemic has further enhanced the anxiety level. And a feeling of helplessness has set in the teachers. Now, as a school head, I personally feel that it is my responsibility to help my educators in these tough times, as they're facing a completely different category this time. We must engage and involve teachers in dedicated, de-stressing sessions. And how can we do that? What is our responsibility during this time? We must ensure that we give clear instructions to our teachers, what to do and what not to do. Regularly involve them in upgrading themselves to meet the new and diverse challenges. Set clear instructions for the parents and students, resolve the practical problems of the teachers. We must hold mindfulness sessions regularly for the teachers. And I have few tips for them as a school head so that they feel more motivated and they feel confident. First is, give yourself permission to think about yourself. Follow the oxygen mask analogy that I said initially. Wear your mask first and then help others. You are doing an excellent job. You may not have been acknowledged, but you too are a Corona warrior. Reflect on your own deeds and feelings and take out time to de-stress yourself through music, visuals, singing, watch a comedy movie, write a poem. Do anything that helps you to relax. Set boundaries for acceptable behavior, be it your students, be it your parents, be it your family members, be it your colleagues, anybody. Stimulate your happiness hormones. And how do we do that? Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Trust me, it really helps. Think about all the happy moments that you've spent with your dear ones, with your friends. Tap yourself for the extraordinary job that you're doing under these extraordinary circumstances. Ignore the fact that you're being judged. Just ignore. Ignore the criticism. And if the criticism is there, take it positively because it always helps you to grow further. And above all, do breathing exercise. meditate at least once a day. It really helps. Trust me, I do it every day. It really helps. I'm sure these few tips will help you out because we have to accept that this is the new normal now. And I would like to end with a small क्या कहते हैं शेर जो मैंने लिखा है कि अगर अच्छे दिन नहीं रहे तो बुरे भी कट जाएंगे. अपने आत्मविश्वास और भरोसे को ध्यान से रखो. यही हमारे भंवर से हमको इस भंवर से पार लगाए. Thank you so much.
That's really great, Nidya ma'am. अच्छे दिन रहे नहीं रहे तो बुरे भी नहीं रहेंगे.
This shall also
and this we all should,
this
you know.
shall also pass.
And I am sure the fingers are still crossed, which we have crossed in the. That's very nice, very nice. And it's really perfect, Nidya ma'am. आपने तो मतलब real धो डाला. So that's very great. Some good thoughts they are on the way. So let us now request Ritu ma'am, and I'm sure ma'am, the way she started him, she's stuffed with ideas. So let us give her the chance. Now it's your turn, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ishan, for bringing us all on this platform. And a lot has already been said. In fact, by the time it normally happens, when a common topic is there, you already have a couple of thoughts in your mind and somebody else has already spoken that. You know, it does happen. But I would still start with something I really want to, on your behalf, on the behalf of all the principals out here, to all our teaching fraternity, to all the teachers, I would want to begin with these lines, कि रोशनी बनकर आए जो हमारी जिंदगी में, ऐसे गुरुओं को मैं प्रणाम करती हूँ. रोशनी बनकर आए जो हमारी जिंदगी में, ऐसे गुरुओं को मैं प्रणाम करती हूँ, और जमीन से आसमान तक पहुंचाने का रखते जो हुनर, see the capacity, see the ability, see the talent, see the potential, oh my God. जमीन से आसमान तक पहुंचाने का रखते जो हुनर, ऐसे शिक्षकों को मैं दिल से सलाम करती हूँ. With this, I want to start my words for all the teachers. I would again say everything has been said. But since I have to start with it, the day the pandemic came and till today, the journey has been beautiful, surprising, shocking, and it had been an amalgamation of good, bad, right, wrong, everything. But the teachers, super extraordinary. I think we practically do not have any words for them. We threw them actually. We threw them on the platform, untrained. We were also not trained. No? The point is that let's accept it. I would accept it. I was not trained on. I didn't even know Zoom and all this stuff. I knew plenty of things. I knew WhatsApp. I knew many other things. But Zoom, wow, is that something like that? And then Microsoft. Now we have shifted to Microsoft. So for us, like, कहाँ पे क्या करते हैं, कैसा होता है, क्या होता है? We have come through that journey. I mean, what to talk about the teachers? Did we really officially make them sit together and talk? Because none of us was really prepared to go about this way. So hats off is not the correct word. They are extraordinary. The topic for today is safeguarding mental health. When I was given this topic, I was just started, thinking how to go about, because definitely we think about, what we have to say, how do we prepare ourselves? And I was like, I practically started questioning myself. Ritu, Rajneesh, have you done your share? Hope you are not one reason that they are under pressure. And I practically put a finger on me first. No, you have not done your share. Honestly, I admit on this platform, this thought gave me a thought and gave me one reason to realize maybe I have not done my share. Now, what do I want to convey with that? My share as in, did I really justify the work area of my teachers? I hope I am not one of the reasons that they are getting pressurized with. I hope they are not getting pressurized with my system, my rules, my norms, my timetable and my schedule, and how back to back, I throw my things on them. There's a WhatsApp group. I don't even know how many uncountable number of groups I have on WhatsApp today. The academic heads and my TGTs and my PGTs, and we have separate groups. Day in, day out, they are just throbbing, you know, with the messages. So the first question that I asked myself, dear principals, that I should not be the reason. And unfortunately, I realized I was one of the reason. So to coming on the practical aspect, everything has been said, so I would not be repeating on that. My say would be, if the onus is on us, let us make sure that we are not the reason. Genuinely, honestly, dedicatedly, and by the blessings of the God. Like I always say कि भोले शंकर को मुंह दिखाना है तो उसकी जवाब हमारी जवाबदेही भगवान से है, हमारी जवाबदेही धरती पर रहने वाले किसी इंसान से नहीं है. Our accountability is to that mighty, to that almighty. And once we sleep at night, let us tell ourselves, no, we have done our share to the utmost dedication, to the utmost commitment. And we make sure that for us, every teacher is equal. Today, somebody may be less, somebody may be more, somebody has less potential, somebody has more potential. But today we are on a platform. Again, I am correlating it with the fact to ensure that we are not the reasons. I will just stick to that. We have the onus, we are the principal, we should not be the reason that the teacher should be under stress, which means our planning, our schedule. Now, this is not that I'm questioning all of you. I am just quoting about myself. With due regards, we all have been doing our share. But sometimes under pressure, we tend to do something which maybe we need to check. So let us check ourselves, make sure that we do not overpressure our teachers to make sure, see, where does the mental well-being start? An English teacher will be happy to teach English to her own classes. A maths teacher will be happy you give her n number of classes, she will never get tired. I have been PGT English for 20 years and then I came on to the admin. So I know I would love my lessons back to back. I would never get tired because that is my passion. But what if suddenly I'm asked to take, why don't you take value education? Why don't you take GK? Why don't you take, I hope you understand. Under the given circumstances, my dear principal, we are forced to take certain decisions that by default give pressure to the teacher. They are not prepared for that. They have already come across a journey which had been so tedious, so tough, so unexpected, so painful, so uncertain. Why not to at least pick ourselves and check? So what I want to say, a teacher is dedicated, hardworking, salam, hats off to you, because they are not ordinary. Let us check ourselves and make sure that we do not commit any mistake knowingly, unknowingly, because we all are humans, right? So कई बार गलती हो जाती है, कई बार हम force हो जाते हैं कोई decision लेने के लिए, तो थोड़ा सा दोबारा सोचेंगे हम कि नहीं, किसी को कुछ, I mean, you know, the schedule, the everyday timetable. Say, I have been changing my timetable on weekly basis just to make it more creative, right? So just to make it more happening. That's the least we can do. But at the end, again, I come back to the same set of teachers and I just don't go beyond them. So it is about involvement. It is about making sure that our teachers are not pressurized. Happiness will come by default to my teacher if they are not pressurized by you and me, knowingly, unknowingly, and they are happy with the timetable, whatever the curriculum, activities we are assigning them, they deserve that, they are worth doing it. Yes, it's not about always teaching and training. We are there to train them, but sometimes we have to keep certain things on hold for a while, right? So I think this is one thing I would want to check on myself, at least I would want to check and make sure my teachers are not pressurized by me as a principal. Happiness will come, start coming. Then the family, they have to deal with that. Then their physical well-being, yes, of course, daily virtual yoga sessions and maybe meditation sessions, that has already been said. But I would go on the practical aspect, which is again very, very important. And that is, how much break are we really thinking about our teachers? Are they working 5 days a week? Are they working 6 days a week? Lately, what I decided, I don't know. Okay, I'll just cut it short. Lately, I decided, gazetted off pata nahi chal rahe, Sunday pata nahi chal rahe, Monday pata nahi chal rahe. You know, we are so involved. So I think that short breaks, ek teacher ko kabhi bhi, whenever we ask, so what could be the happiest thing, you know, that we could do? I think a short break, they deserve. A short break, they deserve. You want them to exercise, you want them to meditate, you want them to think about themselves, you want them to give time to themselves, give them time. Give them time. Saying and doing, करना, हमारी करनी और कथनी में फर्क नहीं होना चाहिए, principals हैं हम. हम प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, हमारी करनी और कथनी में फर्क नहीं होना चाहिए. What we say we must. I am just telling it to myself, honestly. I am just telling it to myself. I've started introducing whatever the gazetted off will be, there will be no virtual class if there is a gazetted off. We have to give them a Saturday, Sunday, 2 consecutive days together, which is off. Could be second Saturday and Sunday, could be third Saturday and Sunday. Though then they deserve those 2 days. And those consecutive 2 days can bring about all the energy back when they do not have to look at their mobiles and their laptops, and they don't have to think anything for 48 consecutive hours. Will be like a bonanza, will be like a celebration, will be like a party. That will give them happiness. Rest, technically, we are there to take care of them. We are like their mothers. We are like gods and goddesses to them. हम गलती ना करें, पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज, practically we have to give them time. We have to give them that most motivational space and understand. उनके साथ हम कुछ unjustified ना करें. Nothing should be unjustified from our end. If that begins, I think everything will be beautiful. Everything will be super beautiful. So once again, I will conclude my words, Ritu, Rajneesh, to all my dear teachers. I love you all. I have myself been teachers for 20 years, so I can understand where you are. I was there for 20 years. And I conclude that we are responsible. I take a pledge today, honestly. I make sure that I really be honest to my teachers. And whatever I say, because preaching and saying and doing should never be different. I will follow what I say. And hence I conclude, कि क्या दूं मैं तुम्हें गुरु दक्षिणा मन ही मन ये सोचूं. क्या दूं मैं तुम्हें गुरु दक्षिणा मन ही मन ये सोचूं. चुका ना सकूंगी कर्ज तुम्हारा. I am saying to all the teachers कि चुका ना सकूंगी कर्ज तुम्हारा चाहे जीवन अपना दे दूं. So I think this is all what I conclude with. Teachers, hats off to you. I, Ritu Rajneesh, principal of Delhi World Public School, salute you. And I promise I will never do anything unjustified. And I will make sure that I am not the reason to give you any pressure, any stress. And I make sure that I relieve you of all the pains. I promise. Cross my heart. Love you all. Thank you so much. This is Ritu Rajneesh signing off. Thank you. Thank you.
We too really love you, Ritu ma'am. That was really great.
Thank you.
Blasting.
Thank you so much.
It was a blasting performance, and no doubt that the mental stress, the reason of mental stress is somewhere around only.
Actually,
so if all of us think, if we think, the problem is solved, ma'am.
We can't talk high and then hide ourselves. No, it's we.
That was absolutely perfect.
यहाँ से आएगा सब कुछ. अच्छा भी यहीं से आएगा, गलत भी यहीं से आएगा. We have to take the onus. So thank you so much. Thank you.
It's really great, ma'am, taking the onus, and then it was really great. And we all the leaders should ponder upon the fact. In fact, a very small fact seems very small, but it is too large. This is what ma'am has told us, and let us think over it. Now,
sorry to barge in, ma'am, but it is the time for a quick another poll.
Yeah,
sure.
Please.
So here is the poll on your screen.
Okay.
So I would want Nindya ma'am to review on this. Nindya ma'am, what do you have to say on this?
Sure.
Yes,
sure.
This is required right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All said and done, teachers are going through a tough time right now.
True.
There is a glitch in the classroom, technical glitch. Parents pounce on the teacher.
True.
We also have expectations. All said and done, we have expectations from the teachers, and I have very high expectations because I believe if I keep my expectation here, at least my teacher will be able to reach here. That's what I believe.
Well said, India. Well said.
And I also believe that Ritu ma'am said, whatever I expect from my teachers, I am bound to do it first. I have to lead.
Exactly.
True. I have to lead by example. So such topics on the platform, they are also a lesson for us also. A lot of things I've learned from all of the educators. I've learned a lot of things from each one of them, whoever spoke here. And I've got to take home also. And so have the teachers. Now they know that yes, their principals, they think, there are some teachers who might be thinking, there's no time, especially when we have online classes. So such a platform, teacher knows that yes, my work is being done. And that's a motivation enough for the teacher to do.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So let's hear from Alka ma'am. Alka ma'am, what do you have to say on this? There should be a dedicated session for the teachers.
Absolutely. I would say it's very, very important that we have dedicated sessions for the teachers, because their well-being can be taken care only when something is specific to them. So, and one more thing I would like to say, as Ritu ma'am was saying, was something which really touched, that we sit back, we introspect. पहले अपने को तो question करें हम. So वहीं से, from there we should start that dedicated sessions. बिल्कुल उनके लिए चाहिए. When we are talking with the students, सबसे पहले हम teachers को, we take care of our teachers.
Yeah, very true.
Absolutely, I would 200% agree to that.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. So let's see what our audience have to say on this. So here is the result on your screen.
Oh wow! See,
Bingo.
well
88% of the people says that yes,
well connected.
they need a dedicated session.
True.
And I hope the job of the panelists in this webinar is quite easy, as everybody's on the same track.
Yeah.
Now over to you, Rashmi ma'am.
All right, Ishan. And ma'am, it's like really mind wash. A mind wash is going on, you know, proper type the light jal rahi hai. No doubt about it. And I really think that this would go on little longer. We are really learning a lot from this session, and I now hand over to the last panelist, Sangeeta Dameja ma'am. Ma'am, over to your thoughts, and over to all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am, and thank you, my dear friends, for all the inputs that you have shared. Though I have very few points now left to be spoken, but yes, I would like to share what we are doing. So before I express my views, I would like to tell all the teachers around the world that you are essential and we are concerned about your well-being. You are the heroes and the frontliners in the field of education. Therefore, this webinar. And I acknowledge that you're not just a teacher, but you're a parent, you are a sibling, you are a daughter, you're a colleague. So you need time for that also. So when we talk about teachers as frontliners, they have other responsibilities too, which we need to cater to and understand as principals. So teachers have been going through a lot of psychological, emotional, physical problems during this pandemic. But I believe that why only we wait for the pandemic? Why not have certain school norms so that there is, God forbid, if there's any adversity, we can deal with it in a very smooth manner. And that is how the transition has been. And as progressive schools, we do expect inclusion, collaboration, you know, assessments, feedback. We want them to be creative. We want them to be caring, considerate, passionate. I don't know what not we expect from the teachers. But all these things, you know, they require mental well-being of the teacher. Unless and until we take care of their mental well-being, how do they get the energy? So we need to support them in all aspects. However, we have been doing all these things. We have been supporting the teachers. But my tagline is learn, unlearn, and relearn. That is what is required, whether a pandemic or not a pandemic. So the interactions that the teachers are having in the classrooms are very stressful. Parents are watching them, as you know, principals have mentioned. And the teachers have to create a balance, because there is a parent now sitting and watching and observing the teacher. So in short bursts, I would say stress is something good to a limited extent, but that when that stress, you know, is quite frequent and prolonged and it has a negative impact, then in that case, we need to support our teachers. Of course, a teacher who is, respected, is quite resilient, and she knows that this is what my principal is expecting, and she is standing by me, whatever may. I think that is something we all need to do. So as one of the panelists mentioned, that we were also not so tech savvy. So we have learned and grown with the teachers, and we need to be ahead of them as role models. So there are certain things when I would like to suggest, not only during the trying times, but in a regular school, as there was a poll also that there should be initial teacher training programs, there should be mandatory provision of personal mental health and well-being guidance provided to the teachers, and we all have our school counselors and psychologists in school. There should be some access to facilitated peer support programs, because sometimes they do not want to approach their seniors if they are facing some kind of a problem. So I think peers help them a lot. If a teacher wants a leave for not being sick, but she wants to attend her child's PTM, she wants to attend her, some function in the child's school, I think for recreation, we should encourage that. They should have their own me time. That is very, very essential. And even in my school on Saturdays, we do have a lot of informal gatherings. We do have a me time. Activity teachers have, some teacher wants to learn music, some teacher wants to go for singing class, some teacher wants to do dance, some teacher wants to do yoga. We do that so that the me time is available to the teachers, and it gives a resilience to the teacher, and she feels that what she's at a job, but then she's taken care of. That's what is more important. Another thing I would like to share, that we all have clubs in schools. So we are all doing post-scholastic activities also online, apart from on the scholastic activities. So I try, because my principal has done this. I am an economics postgraduate. I have already done economics, enough of economics, but I want to do something else, right? So I was given home science because I was interested in that. And I think I made the best of connections, and I learned so much during those classes because that was my passion. So I would like to suggest that wherever a teacher has a passion, please put her there, so that apart from her own subject, she's, following a passion and taking interest in that. Another thing which I feel that we should do in school is collaborative learning space. So if one teacher is absent, the other teacher can take over. If there are two physics teachers, let them, plan jointly the lesson plans, write their teachers' diaries. It takes a lot of stress away from the teacher. And I have seen that personally, and they support each other rather than redoing the thing twice or thrice. So all these things are very little small things which I think but add to the mental well-being of the teachers. And of course, teachers should be part of the decision-making process, whether it is during online classes or offline classes. So that makes a lot of difference. They have the ownership of doing the things. So I think teachers should be motivated. There should be awards for the teachers on an annual basis, and there should be peer recommendations so that they are genuinely, all those who are doing an extra mile, they are genuinely awarded for that. And there should be a comfortable environment, as most of my friends have mentioned. And I think all these small things, if they are taken care of by all the school leaders, we can definitely make schools less stressful working places and generate positive energy. And of course, we raise the teacher well-being index. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I request Rashmi ma'am, would you please like to sum it up?
Yeah, sure. This is my, what should I say, honor today to, have been sitting here with great people, with great thoughts, and I'm sure all of us, those other than, those who are not here with us today, everybody is thinking almost on the same platform. We all are thinking to de-stress our teachers. We are thinking to go in a positive way, and something or the other, ups and downs, ins and outs, but the track is always almost the same. We all are thinking in the same way. So let me take one by one. And in fact, it's my honor to again reiterate the facts spoken by the great panelists. And first, I would like to say a big thanks to Alka ma'am. She talked about relationships in faculty. Yes, a very, very important point, that the faculty in the school should be very well connected, and relationship should be like a very good relationship. Then She also spoke about prioritizing the facts, prioritizing the matter. Like teachers should know that what is my priority at this point of time. If you clutter up things, you are not going to be anywhere better. So let us first prioritize, and prioritization make you a happy person. I mean, if you prioritize your way, then it will make you a happy person. And then, of course, the thoughts of Gurvinder ma'am. Yes, the teachers are really made up of sterner stuff. The way they have come up, the way they have shown their potential, the way they have solved the problems in and out, day and night. No doubt their work has have increased manyfold. They are, everything was new to all of us, and the way they have come up with solutions, the way they have made everyone friendly was really great. And yes, our teachers are Corona warriors. Yes, they are the warriors. Meenakshi ma'am, yes, mental fatigue has set in. There was a time when we all were, in stress, but that time has really gone. Again, we have taken a surge, and yes, very practical solution, meditation, yoga, and yes, that detoxification drive. We are not going to forget that, no doubt. Nindya ma'am, yes, teachers have to come up with parental expectation. There is lots of turmoil, but then laugh out loud. This is what she said. Forget everything and laugh. Forget about how much stress somebody is giving you. Just think about yourself, laugh out loud, and ignore the fact that you are being judged. Yes, I remember some of the doctors saying that, I remember the words of a pediatrician. He said that he met a couple across, and both the parents were doctors, but the child was to be operated upon this doctor himself. And both the parents wanted to see how their child is being operated. They wanted to see the session of surgery, but the doctor said a big no, right? So the very fact of being that you have been judged by someone, somebody is watching you, give you lots and lots of anxiety and pressure. So forget about it that you are being judged. Let the parents sit, give them the norms. Okay, this is what you are supposed to follow. Please leave your child alone. Give him a nice microphone and a room and leave them alone. No doubt. And Ritu ma'am, yes, practically no words to say how the teachers have performed in this era. We all have to look, and yes, we have to introspect. The principals, the leaders have to introspect. Are we giving some stress to our teachers? So very nicely summed up by Ritu ma'am. Yes, happy curriculum and giving a break. No doubt, ma'am. We all are going to think over it. And yes, we'll think of giving break. I am very sure that all of us are doing this. We are giving break to our teachers. Okay, and then Sangeeta Dhamija ma'am. Yes, we have to think, are we expecting too much from our teachers? Yes, a time to think. क्या बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं हो जा रहा है? Yes, there is always a pressure, parental pressure. So give them the me time. Yes, think about yourself. Talk to your relatives. Talk to your family members and relax. And yes, the teachers should be a part of the decision-making process. Whatever decisions we are making for the school, whatever decisions we are making for the students, let us make teacher. Let us not throw that, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Let us make them a process of that complete decision making. And I want to sum up here, no doubt that the session has been really, really wonderful.
Really wonderful, yeah.
The place where we started, we are much, much ahead and
Oh,
on
yes.
the top.
Far
on
ahead.
the top.
Far ahead.
We are
Far
on the
ahead.
top.
Yeah.
And we have really exchanged very much valuable thoughts. Again, a big thanks to you all. Let us make our teachers feel that you are not alone. We are there for you. Let us take sessions with parents and give them also a feel that please be also with the teachers, because see, it's a time of, we we're going to make a history. We'll remember
True,
sometime in the years ahead that there was a
Absolutely,
time
there was a time.
when the
Once upon
teachers,
a time, there was this
once upon a time,
there
there was a
this
pandemic
pandemic,
and the teachers
and
have done.
actually,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that the teachers have done a wonderful job.
yeah.
So let us tell them to prioritize their self-care.
True.
You just tell them to think that, yes, I am the one. I am to be taken care of. I have to take care myself. No one is going to take care of you. Just take care of yourself. Yes, pray to God. All the teachers, we do it. We do it. It's customary in the education system. We just close our eyes and remember God. So do it more than how much often you were doing. Yes, no doubt. Seek out professional help. Yes, no doubt. There is when you are not very well versed with things, when you are stacking up somewhere, please take help. There is no shame at all asking that you don't know this, please tell me this or please tell me that. As Ritu ma'am said that even we never knew what was Zoom and what was Team and what was Meet. So now Zoom, Team and Meet have become the every second word which is coming out from the mouth. So it's okay. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to ask someone that please give me this suggestion. It's very well. And we have to give this feel to the teachers that please don't feel ashamed of yourself that you don't know this. Take help. And yes, in the end, I remember the words of our president, sir. President DAV College Managing Committee is a wonderful person, and he always used to end up his great speeches by saying, "Swasth raho, mast raho, ashwasth raho." Be happy always. Be happy whatever the situation is. And in fact, our teachers have proved it. It has become a testimony that yes, the teachers are made up of sterner stuff, very robust, can come up to any expectation, and can work and go ahead in any situation. And I'm sure all my panelists are with me. And I thank you a lot. You all are like the family members now. And
thank you, Rashmi. Thank you. It was so
thank
nice
you. It's
being
been
here.
really interacting with you
Really
all.
wonderful. It's
Thank
going to be
you.
a memorable session. Really
Yes,
memorable.
and thank you, Ishan, for and Rocksport. Yes, of course. Yes, we all should be thankful to Rocksport providing us this
they
platform.
Brought us all together. They brought us all together. So
brought us all
yeah,
together.
all together. Yeah.
Coming up with something good, and yes, we are going quite enriched after this session.
Certainly.
No doubt, Ishan, and over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a wonderful session. Thanks a lot. With this, now it is time for the Q&A session. Since we are running out of time, so I would request all the panelists to answer in quick 60 seconds.
Okay.
So audience, please raise your hand if you have any question from your favorite panelist. We can take 1 or 2 questions. So there is a small icon of raise hand on your screen. Click it to raise your hand.
I think without queries, only we've answered all their queries.
Actually, we have not left them to ask any question, actually.
All the queries I think have been answered.
All are well answered, yeah.
But I still have one question here, ma'am. And let us put up this question to Gurvinder, ma'am. Ma'am, I mean, I think this question is going to end our session, and I'm sure you'll be able to take up in a very well way. What tips would you like to give to fellow teachers to manage their work-life balance better in the times of online education?
Well, ma'am, work and school. Earlier, there was a very clear-cut line dividing the two. We are all aware that the line is totally blurred now.
Yes.
Work has penetrated the homes. In fact, our virtual classrooms invaded the privacy of the home. So first and foremost, I think every teacher will be able to perform only when the family supports. So I think today, I would like to thank all teachers' families, because our teachers have been able to perform because their families have stood by them. The families have not minded that the meals have been late and, you know, the things are not ready for them and all that. So they've allowed the teachers for them to prioritize teaching in a certain time frame, at least in the home front. Now, obviously, there lies the duty of the teacher as well. Time management, a very fine balancing, especially with young children and the elderly who may need more attention. Some kind of a compromise will have to be needed. Use the help of your principal and your colleagues where you need some extra help from somebody else. If there's an emergency or crisis situation, we all understand and the sky will not fall on us. So we are right there. We are all here. Anybody,
Perfect.
anytime, please reach out. We'll fill in
We
for
are
you,
there.
and you concentrate where you have to.
Right. Good.
Yeah, I guess we have answered all the questions of our panelists,
No
all the
doubt.
questions of our audience. So let me take one or two questions that I have in my mind. This question would be for Alka ma'am and Sangeeta ma'am. That what, according to you, are the top challenges teachers are facing with the education system that result in increased stress? So I would like Alka ma'am to answer this.
Okay. When we are talking about the increased stress, I would say that the first and foremost thing is that they are not prioritizing themselves. It is like not putting themselves first. It is something like when we are using the prayer, दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करो. Somewhere the complete focus is on the student, and maybe right now in this present situation, handling the family also. So that is creating that stress. Somewhere, I think now the focus has to come on themselves, that they are the ones who have to be taken care of right now. So that is one part. And second, I would say what Gurvinder ma'am also said, that it's important in these times where the layoffs are going on, the economy is on a slowdown. So somewhere this thought of, the job security and how things would be, the unknown, the fear of the unknown is there, which is leading to more stress. I think these are the two basic reasons where, the teachers are a little stressed out.
Perfect.
That's how I look
So
at it.
Perfect.
what are your views on this, Sangeeta ma'am?
I feel there was a lot of stress when we, started the session. Online classes, some don't have internet connection, some don't have laptops, some don't have devices. Then, reaching out to children where there are two children in a family and there is no device. Parents are also working from home. So that was in fact stressful for the teachers more than the parents, how to reach out to the children. But now I feel the things have, slowly and have gradually started to settle down. And now teachers have also realized, as Gurvinder ma'am also mentioned, that there is this line of demarcation which was blurred. Now they know how to manage their life. Earlier, they were even answering queries at 11 o'clock at night. They were, ma'am, I have not got the meeting ID. Ma'am, I have not received this. Ma'am, my video is off. Ma'am, what do I do? So there are so many things, but we have been addressing each and every query and settling down the things. But now I think we are all in the right direction and there is less stress now. We have settled with the new normal.
Can I add something here?
Yes, Nidhi.
Yes.
Please.
See, there's one very important thing which brings out the stress, and we have not done the planning properly. For example, we had certain curriculum to follow. Our teachers were following that. In the middle of a session, a circular comes from CBSE, 30% reduction in the syllabus. Now, teachers were all planned. They had planned that exams also, assessments also. So what they had taught was deleted. Now, have to start fresh. So there's a lot of such things also which add on to the stress of the teachers. So we should request CBSE also, if they plan to cut out on the syllabus, they should do it before the session.
It should be timely done.
Yeah, it should be timely. So such things also add on to the stress. Already so much stress is there, such things add on to the stress.
Right. So
And that is unavoidable. And these are all unavoidable.
Unavoidable, actually.
All unavoidable. We have to go by it. We have to go by it. And whatever we have planned so far goes to null and void kind of a thing.
Exactly.
So we have to start right again, when such circulars come.
That was really great.
Yeah,
I would like to add one more thing. Now teaching has settled down. Now the assessments is a big challenge for the teachers taking online assessments.
Yes.
And how to grade them.
So let not this assessment give them a stress.
Yes.
So
definitely.
let this assessment be stress-free. This is what we have to look now. That's great.
Yes.
Sorry to Barjan, but we have.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry to Barjan, ma'am.
The assessment is for teachers and students both. Yes.
So we have Nidhi Kapoor, ma'am, who wants to ask a question. So if we can please unmute Nidhi Kapoor, ma'am. Hello, Nidhi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, respected panelists. It's been a true pleasure to hear you all. I just had a very brief query that there has been a lot of discussion going on regarding means to de-stress teachers. But somehow I feel that we are not able to limit our timeline to interact with teachers on WhatsApp or social platform. Sometimes the messages are coming at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and it's always followed by an ASAP. So, do you think that if we make a uniform policy throughout, it would help in de-stressing teachers? Maybe we could restrict our timeline for sending messages so that they can also have their family time and just not drop everything and get back to schoolwork.
Right. So,
I
Nidhi
think,
ma'am,
yes.
so Nidhi ma'am, whom do you want to answer this question?
I would request Gurvinder ma'am to answer this, please. And then Sangeeta ma'am.
Right, Nidhi, thank you so much. And I can totally understand your question. I think, April and May, perhaps we could give that much concession to the entire teaching learning fraternity because they were all fumbling and stumbling the way and the way around. By now this is July. I think by now we have all sort of sorted out our work.
Yeah.
And definitely for those of us who've not yet done this, I think Nidhi's question is a wake-up call for a lot of the principals here and whoever else who's kind of listening. So I think high time that we did our own time management, and an ASAP message has to be only in an emergency situation. Only in an emergency. It should not become the norm. It could be an exception. Yes.
Right.
So those of us who've not done that, Nidhi, for sure, I hope it is something that we put into effect right from this very moment. Much needed, undoubtedly.
True.
So, Rashmi ma'am, you wanted to add something on this?
No doubt. Yes. I mean, the question has been posed out very aptly that there should be a time. But again, I would like to reiterate here that we all belong to teaching faculty. And a teacher would feel happier enough if she is more connected to the student, and the student feel free to connect to teacher any of the time. But yes, there should be time limit, and very well said by Gurvinder ma'am, that should only be done in the time of emergency. Otherwise, yes, it should be limited. The time should be bound. Let us say if you are having classes up to 6, I say, then there should be a limit that no phone calls after 6 unless there is an emergency. No doubt about it.
Right.
Yes,
So,
it's perfectly right.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Sangeeta
you.
ma'am, Nidhi ma'am wanted your view as well.
Yes, Nidhi ma'am, to answer your query, I think the school should set a norm. As Rashmi ma'am mentioned, till 5 or 6 p.m., we can take calls. Post that, it should be a very clear message to the parents as well as the students that calls will not be entertained or WhatsApp messages will not be entertained. Secondly, I always believe that there should be a formal line of communication, which should be mainly through mails. And unless and until it is the need of the hour, it should be taken up after 5 or 6 p.m. Otherwise, heavens are not going to fall. We can always go back on the next.
Yes.
True.
Right.
Perfect.
So, my next question would be for Nindya ma'am and Ritu ma'am. And the question is, what tip would you like to give fellow teachers to manage their work-life balance better in the time of online education?
I would tell the teachers to prioritize. Online classes in the morning. After that, you have to do your lesson planning also. You have your own children to teach. You have got your household chores to do without house help. So you will have to prioritize your things first and time management. I come back from school at 6 o'clock. Then I go for a walk also. I do my yoga also. I do my household chores also. So it's how you manage your time. Similarly, teachers will have to look off for the time and prioritize their work schedule. Like what do they want to do first? What is the second thing that I want to do? I want to go for a walk, but you can't go when you have. Okay, now it is your walk time, but you are planning to watch a movie. So, or your lesson plan is suffering. So 11 o'clock in the night, you're awake making a lesson plan. So you will have to prioritize your workload. Only then you will know how to balance out things.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am. Ritu ma'am, would you like to please add on something on this?
I would, with my own experience, I would say that like prioritize is the word, right? So if you further you put it on a practical front, sleeping on time and waking up on time makes the difference. So what happens is, now that we know that we do not have to get ready and move out of the house to go to the school, so we go flexible, right? Similarly, when we are in bed with the family after all the work is done, we start watching TV and then go into that, leisure system. But I believe that prioritizing and everything would happen if you have some hours with you. So where do you get the hours? You get the hours when you sleep on time and you wake up at time. So I strongly believe that 5:30, somebody wakes up, you have a hell of time to give it to yourself, and then exercise and meditation and yoga and everything. And still they would be like the whole day is to you, right? And then sleeping on time. So the 8 hours sleep is very, very important. So बहुत पुरानी कहावत है कि जो रात को जल्दी सोए और सुबह को जल्दी जागे, उस बच्चे से दूर दूर दुनिया का दुख भागे। तो ये जो बातें कही हुई हैं, इनका कोई मीनिंग है, ऐसे ही नहीं लिखी गई ये चीजें। So I am very bad. I am like criticized in my family of sleeping right on time and very rigid about, no, it's 9:30, I have to sleep. My daughters, they run after me. What is this? Come on. I said, no, this is what life is. Once in a while, okay. Once in a blue moon, that's okay. But if you say prioritize, you need time. To need time, you need to wake up, you need to sleep on time, then you can customize your 24 hours, and then you will realize that, oh my God, there's still so many hours left. I am done with my work, I'm done with my classes, I'm done with everything, and still there are many hours that I can give it to myself, right? So I think I would just conclude on that. Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah.
And one thing I would like to add on here, ma'am. No doubt, I hope we all remember that picture of Bharat Mata having so many hands, and I think something like this,
True.
See, a laptop, a karchi, a bag, a shopping bag, and so this should not be the picture.
We are like,
let us again prioritize. ये नहीं करना है, बिल्कुल नहीं करना है.
I know.
And we have to think. See that picture was good old enough, and doesn't stand well in this scenario. Should not be there.
Yeah, we may be superwoman, but that does not mean that we exhaust ourselves to the level
yes.
where we get so disappointed and frustrated, because at the end this will all come out to the family. At the end we will pour it out somewhere, maybe on our family, maybe parent, maybe husband, maybe kids. So why they should become the victim of what we are going through, isn't it? So why not to be very positive and customize and prioritize the time in such a way that we make happy everyone, and most importantly, we make happy ourselves and be satisfied at the end of the day. I think that is what is all that matters. Yeah. So
thank you, Ritu ma'am.
Great.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
As this great discussion has come to an end, I would like to thank all the panelists for taking out time and making this an interesting discussion.
Thank you.
Thank
it was
you.
an honor
and really, it was so nice having all the wonderful principals.
No
it was
doubt,
an awe to hear
no
you.
Doubt.
It was really awestruck to hear each one of you. It's a blessing to be part of this session. And let's be connected. I mean, you can check us, let's check us each other and be connected. And there's a lot of learning that we can gather from each other. And there's a long way to go. Like I always say, way to go. But if we have people like each other, we can always guide each other and make things more beautiful for each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you, Ishan. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. Thank you, Alka ma'am. Thank you, Gurvinder ma'am. Thank you, Nindya ma'am. Thank you, Ritu ma'am. Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am. And thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I would like to
thanks a lot, Ishan. Thanks a lot, Ishan. You've been a wonderful host. No doubt.
Undoubtedly.
I would like to thank all the lovely audience out there for joining us. Please follow us on Facebook to know more details about the upcoming webinars. The next webinar is going to be on Friday, that is 17th of July, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Don't forget to register yourself. Use the given link on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page link has been shared on the chat box. And thank you once again. Wish you a great evening. Stay home, stay safe, and stay connected. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless.
Thank you and take care.
Thank you. Bye.
All of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nindya ma'am.
Thank you, Ishan. So nice to be here. Thank you. Stay blessed. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Alka ma'am.
Yeah. Bye, Alka. It was lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's wonderful.
I think this is a topic so close to my heart.
Actually. And it is so spontaneous, You don't have to think even twice to add your points. You just don't have to think. Yeah.
I guess teachers are working as a frontline warrior these days.
True.
No doubt.
Yeah. Thank you, Ishan. It was so, we are blessed. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello.